Very happy to have Preservation Hall Jazz Band on KEXP.
Somebody'll tell you what carnival's for. With your ticket in your hand, you ought to go to New Orleans. With your ticket in your hand, you ought to go to New Orleans. When you get to New Orleans, somebody'll show you the Zulu King. We'll see the Zulu King down on St. Claude and Jermaine. You will see the Zulu King down on St. Claude and Jermaine. And if you stand right there, I'm sure you see that Zulu Queen. Charlie! I'm sure you see that Zulu queen.
Come with me to New Orleans. I show you a great time. All your dreams will come true with me by your side. So come with me to New Orleans. What a city you will see. All your dreams will come true in New Orleans. Come with me to New Orleans. I show you a great time. All your dreams will come true with me by your side. So come with me to New Orleans. What a city you will see. All your dreams will come true in New a great time. All your dreams will come true with me by your side. So come with me to New Orleans. What a city you will see. All your dreams will come true in New Orleans.
All right, all the way from 726 St. Peter Street in New Orleans. It's the Preservation Hall Jazz Band on KXP in the Roadhouse in Seattle. Good to have you guys back. You guys are becoming regulars. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Oh, man, thank you. It was fun rolling up here and actually recognizing where we were going.
Yeah, that was Come With Me with Mr. Charlie Gabriel on the vocal, Clint Majan on the sax, Ricky Mr. Money on piano, and Little Joe Lasty on drums, Ronell Johnson's on the trombone, and Mark Bro on trumpet and vocal of Going to New Orleans, Professor Longhair Classic.
Yeah, that's, Joe, our drummer, actually has a story. That was one of the first shows he ever played was with Professor Longhair.
Really?
At Tipitina's. What was that? What year was that, Joe? Back in the 70s?
Wow.
The mid-70s. So there's a long history with that song. It's a New Orleans anthem.
Right, yeah. How much I would like to be at that show back in the 70s. Yeah. Well, good to have you guys back. How is that old rustic place on St. Peter Street doing?
It's doing great.
Yeah.
It's there, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's been there for a long time.
It's been there for, over 5 decades now. And
yeah. There's stories in those walls.
There's a lot of music in that building. A lot of music, a lot of good times have been had.
Jazz Fest is coming up next week.
Yeah,
and
right around the corner.
And you got stuff lined up as usual. You got your Midnight Preserves.
Yeah, Midnight Preserves is our a series we do during Jazz Fest, and it's a fundraiser for our foundation, which does all of our outreach and music education, which we're huge advocates of and participate in quite a bit everywhere we go. We're working with students and even adults everywhere we go, kind of like Pied Pipers, so to speak,
Yeah.
But Jazz Fest, we started doing these midnight shows, and we started inviting some of our friends down to sit in with us, and all of a sudden, the most unlikely people started saying yes to our invitations, and it's just kept growing every year, and we never really know who's going to show up or when they're going to show up or what we're going to play. It's really, off the cuff. So.
It's really evolved,
It has, yeah. It's become a thing, too, People look forward to it, and now it's just... we just announced it as the Preservation Hall Band, and we never know who really any of our special guests are going to be.
Yeah. I know years ago, King Britt was there, the DJ.
Yes.
And that evolved into that amazing remix that he did of a lot of sort of old recordings, and also that amazing animation video of St. James, which is so cool.
I'll tell you that it's unbelievable to think that project is 10 years old now. We're actually celebrating its 10th anniversary this year.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. And then Flavor Flav showed up last year. I think I saw someone's Instagram had a picture of Joe with hanging with Flavor Flav, right?
Joe knew him from
really?
They grew up together,
okay. Yeah.
So they knew each other. They just they hadn't seen each other in a while, but they reconnected, and I didn't know how good of a drummer he was. He sat down on the kit at the hall and started playing, and he can really kick it on the drums.
Really?
Flavor Flav is a no-nonsense musician.
Uh-huh.
When you take all the shtick away.
Yeah.
The man was kicking it. Yeah.
Right. Last time you were in Seattle was for Sasquatch last year.
Yeah,
you
right.
played, and what's the occasion this year?
We're at Benaroya Hall, and we're there for 3 nights.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It's going great.
Yeah.
Or should we talk about it in the past tense?
Yeah, we're playing it back. So you played this past weekend for 3 days.
We played. The shows were great.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. It's great to have you back. How about another song? This is Preservation Hall Jazz Band in the Roadhouse.
Let's do a little I Think I Love You. Do another Charlie one. Let's do the long version. You want the long version or the short version? What do you guys want?
I think the long version is going to be good.
Let's do the long version, because that let everybody open up on that one.
I really do. forever is all in the past. Oh, my love, oh, my heart, oh, my world is turned apart. All the tears in my eyes, just because you said goodbye. I waited for hours for you to come by. I bought you some flowers, and you let them die. love you. I really do. I think I love you. And you think that we are true. You think that we are true. You think that we are true.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Preservation Hall Jazz Band in the Roadhouse on KEXP. I Think I Love You from That's It, the fantastic record from a couple years ago, which was the 50th anniversary record of this band, a band that ranges from age 38 to 83. That vocal there by Mr. Charlie Gabriel. Nice to have you back, Charlie.
Oh, great to be back, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, is that a love song or an anti-love song? What is
Well, it's a love song.
Is it? Okay. Depends who's asking. Cool.
Yeah, you're right. It's a love song, definitely.
All right. Hey, when's Preservation, the Preservation album that you made about 4 or 5 years ago, when's that going to come out? When's number 2 going to come out?
I know, we're ready for it. Yeah, that was a project we started to start documenting, our repertoire, the canon, because there's hundreds of songs that have become New Orleans standards, and that was the first album we made in that direction to start, documenting these songs that we know that some are just kind of vanishing from the landscape, you know, just because there's so few people who even know those songs. Or
it was a collaboration record in which you had guests on each of the tracks, and there was just a lot of great guests on that record. Tom Waits, Jim James of My Morning Jacket, Del McCurry.
Yeah. Well, what was amazing is everybody. Well, first of all, everyone we asked said yes. That was amazing. That everybody gave so much time and effort and energy to the project. That was unbelievable. And also, it was amazing to me how many of these musicians already knew this repertoire. It wasn't a big, heavy lift for anybody.
Yeah.
They were able to, choose their favorite sort of New Orleans song and found a way to fit into it. A lot of the songs we ended up doing exist in a lot of different styles of American music. If it's a gospel or spiritual or hymn, it sort of exists in bluegrass or in sort of Western swing music, and sometimes it'll cross over into blues. So it's already sort of like in 5 different styles. So Steve Earle came in and brought a version of the song that we know, but brought a whole different version of it that he knew from Frank Stokes. And he introduced me to a whole new version of Ain't Nobody's Business.
Yeah. That's the beauty of American songs,
isn't
huh?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And then Pete Seeger was also part of that session.
Yes.
You got to meet Pete Seeger. But my favorite story was, how you and Clint met Tom Waits. And, really long story short is the fact that you found a version of Tootie Ma on 78, an old 78 that Danny Barker put out on Zulu Records, 1949.
Yes.
And you found a copy of that record, mailed it to Tom Waits with a 78 player as a way to convince Tom to come to New Orleans and be part of that project.
Yeah.
And how could he say no?
Exactly. Yeah, that was the thought, but we didn't. We were just, up until that moment, we had no idea if he would find it as cool as we thought it was, or as interesting. But he turned out to be exactly the person we all thought he was, and that is a very caring and generous person who has a deep respect and fondness for New Orleans and the tradition that a lot of the musicians in this band come from. Charlie Gabriel's a member of an incredible legacy. He's got 7 generations of his family playing music in New Orleans. Mark, 4 generations. Ronell, his great uncle, Joseph Butler, was one of the first bass players at Preservation Hall. There's an incredible story behind everybody up here.
Yeah.
So he had he had an appreciation for that. And I mean, if any, all the great musicians that I've met all have a something in common. And one of those things is a love and appreciation for New Orleans and its contribution to music. Whether it's the tradition we come out of, Buddy Bolden and King, Oliver and Jelly Roll Morton and Papa Celestine and just all these great musicians, or Fats Domino and Smiley Lewis and that tradition. It's all got the same root foundation,
and it lives.
It does. That's what's incredible about New Orleans is, you come down there today and you can still hear and see and breathe, something that's still connected to the birth of music.
Yep. This is Ben Jaffe's Preservation Hall Jazz Band on KEXP in the Roadhouse. They're going to be at Jazz Fest on May 2nd, but they'll be at the hall all the days of Jazz Fest with those midnight preserves. Do they need tickets in advance for those midnight preserves?
If they're still available,
you got to jump on it pretty quickly. And
yeah, it's we keep it very small and intimate. We don't like to oversell the room. We want to keep the experience very special and comfortable for everybody.
So figure out a way to get there.
Yeah, figure out a way. If you can't get in, come stand outside. You can hear through the walls.
Ben, we were talking a couple days ago, and you brought up Katrina after I had totally forgotten about it. I thankfully had forgotten about Katrina, but you brought it up because it's 10 years this August.
Yes.
And so tell me give me an update on New Orleans. What's going on down there now? How has it changed and how is it different? What do you miss about pre-Katrina?
Well, I think we all have, we all have our own stories, so I don't want to, speak for everybody in the band, but I can say that New Orleans is and this is one of those bitter pills that I think all of us who are sort of survivors of Katrina and are still in the city.
Just to be clear, everyone in this room lost their home in Katrina. Pretty much, right?
Not Ronell, but
Ronell's lucky.
I think 5 out of the guys in this room did.
Right, and then not only your home, but then your stuff too. I mean, that's the thing that people don't necessarily think about in terms of New Orleans. People are collectors there.
Yeah.
And so everyone who lost their home not only lost their home and people lost their lives, but people lost their collections of things that they had collected for generations.
Yeah, people in New Orleans are librarians. Certain people become sort of the repository for families, and when you look at the number of houses that were destroyed, I mean, to just kind of put it in perspective, think of a fire just devastating an entire city, and that's sort of what happened in New Orleans. 80% of the city was underwater, and everything that was in those houses was destroyed. And it's amazing today to see how much the city has rebounded, because none of us really knew at that time and for years whether the city would come back or how it would come back. And that's something that, I know for all of us, we're all very proud of, as being a part of the process of our city coming back to life again. Mm-hmm. I know it's something that I wear, very proudly on my sleeve, being from New Orleans, having been a part of the rebuilding process, and bringing a different kind of awareness to our city. I think that's to me one of the most important things to me that's come out of this post-Katrina New Orleans period is a deeper appreciation for the things that are uniquely New Orleans and the things that can't be taken away. You can take the houses and you can take the collections, but you can never take the soul, and of the city. And I mean, for a city that was beaten down to its knees, to see where it is today is really incredible. We still have a long way to go. I just know that for a lot of people, we never thought we would see a city prosper the way it is prospering today.
Yeah, it's moving in the right direction.
It's moving in the right direction. We just got to keep it on course.
Let's hear Yellow Moon from That's It, the album I love from a couple years ago. But before you start playing this song, tell me about what it feels like to you, Ben, when you get done playing, most nights at the hall when you're in town and you're riding your bike back home through the quarter.
It's a dream. It's a dream riding my bike down Charters. I mean, when I leave Preservation Hall, I always cut through Pirates Alley and then over to Jackson Square and then up Charter Street, which is one of my favorite streets in the whole world. It's just one of the most romantic. Even though I'm by myself, I just have this romance with that street, and cut across Esplanade, and ride just past the old Kingsway studio on Esplanade, and cut up Frenchman Street to our house. And that's living to me. That 10 minutes that I get to spend commuting back and forth between my house and Preservation Hall. That's life. That's it's kind of like unbelievable that we all get to live that every day.
Yeah. And sometimes there's a yellow moon.
Yes, sometimes there is a yellow moon. And that's what this song is about, that yellow moon.
This is Preservation Hall Jazz Band on KEXP in the Roadhouse. Yellow Moon by Preservation Hall Jazz Band in the Roadhouse on KEXP, all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana. Where else? Great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Greg. Back anytime we're in the neighborhood.
Seems like every time.
Every time we're in the
All right.
neighborhood.
Take care, you guys.
All right, thank you. All right.
Psych.
All right. It sounded great. It sounded really good.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.